Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be scaping a bowl. So this bowl is about 25 litres. I'm not going to keep any fish in it, it'll probably just be some snails. But yeah, let's go. So I am going to fill it with some recycled tropica soil. This is just from an old scape. I'm just going to throw everything in, roots and all. There's probably bits of gravel and stuff in there. It shouldn't cause any problems, it should be absolutely fine. So yeah, I'm just going to add about 6 centimetres of depth and sort of keep it a little bit thinner in the foreground. I'd say that's to create a sort of bigger depth of field, but in a bowl everything does get distorted. But we'll try it, we'll go for it anyway. That's always the thing to remember with a bowl, is that it kind of looks weird when you fill it up with water. So as for the hardscape, I'm just going to use a piece of structure wood. I think this is Hugo Kamishi structure wood, but it's a really nice piece. It's got lots of detail, it's got lots of crevices and things for me to put epiphytes in. It has been used in a previous scape, but I think it's dried out, so you can see that I've zip tied a rock to the bottom. This is just to stop it floating, and I will just cover the zip tie with plants and epiphytes or moss later on when we start planting, so there shouldn't be an issue. Just something to bear in mind when scaping a bowl, just due to the distortion that happens, obviously with it being like a curve, things not only appear bigger, but they kind of appear closer as well. So I'll purposely place the hardscape more towards the back, so there isn't a lot of planting room in the back. And it's just to kind of open the foreground up a little bit more, because otherwise everything just appears very close to you. So I've got the hardscape in place, and I've just like scooped up the soil just to hide the stone. It sat a little bit higher than I thought it would. So I've just sort of rearranged the soil, and then I'm going to go in with some fresh Tropica aqua soil just to top it off. It'll just sort of add some more nutrients into the water column as well. However, I'm not going to be using very demanding plants in this scape, and the light's going to be a very low light as well, so it's mainly going to be epiphytes and things like that, but it will just help give it a little bit of a nutrient boost as well. Next, I'm just going to add a piece of Redmore rootwood. This again has been used in a scape before, so it's kind of developed the same dark brown wood colour as the structure wood, so it kind of looks the same underwater. I know sometimes it's said in aquascaping not to mix stones or wood, but most of them, to be fair, look the same once they've been submerged for a period of time, so I'm just going to add that in as well, just to give it a little bit more detail, and again just create more places to wedge in epiphytes, Boos, Anubias and things like that. And as this is a bit of a budget bowl and I'm just using things that I already have or things that I can source, I'm just going to use some river pebbles just to add some sort of accent details in the scape. I'm just going to place them randomly in the foreground, and I will later add some detail stones as well, and obviously some sand to cap the whole thing. So the sand that I'm going to be using is Eldorado sand by Wio Eco. It's very orange. This is like not even an exaggerated saturation, it is an extremely orange sand. Not quite to everyone's taste. It might not be quite mine either, to be honest. I just picked it up one day because I was quite intrigued by it, and I have used it in a previous scape, and it's quite out there. I reckon this definitely looks better in a sort of biotope setting. But we're just going to use it anyway because it's all I've got, and we're going to cover the majority of it with some Denale reusing goo. detailing stones anyway, so you shouldn't see too much of it. It is a nice sand, and I do really love the Wio Eco products, but this is just a little bit out there for my taste. So as you can see, I've added a few more stones, and I've added a slightly larger stone to the background and one on the opposite side. This was just to help weigh the wood down, and also just give a variety of sizes with the stones as well. It just helps make it more random and helps make it more natural. Apologies for the reflections in this video, by the way. Bowls just seem to be really reflective. So next is the Denale Ryuzingu stones. You definitely need to wash these before you use them because they're always covered in a really dusty powder. So yeah, definitely wash them because you'll just immediately get cloudy water. So I just scattered these around in the foreground, just near the base of the wood and near the base of the rocks as well. Again, it just helps to create interest and texture and more detail. At this point, the reflections in the room were really annoying me, and I'm sure as a viewer they're annoying you too. It's really hard to film a bowl when there's any kind of light, so I've moved it to the floor, just in case you're wondering why the settings changed. But this is pretty much the hardscape ready. Very simple, very easy, something that anybody can do, and it just provides like a great skeleton for planting in. I did add some Hugo Kamishi small grain river gravel, just like final touch details, but you probably won't see these anyway by the time the bowl's full, but it looks nice now, so it might just be wasted time, but who knows, we'll see. It's always a bit of a gamble with the bowl because you could scape it, and when you fill it with water it just gets really distorted and it always looks different. But it's just kind of the chance that you've got to take. But as for planting, this is just all epiphytes that I've had from a previous scape that I just really wanted to use. So that's an Anubias coin leaf, I believe it's called. And then this is just a ton of Boost, Kedagang and Tia that I had spare. So it's literally just a case of wedging it into any crack or crevice that I can. And just trying to cover the zip tie as well, because that'll look pretty obvious otherwise, so we'll just go in with some Bucephalandra and just try and cover that as best I can. So as you can see, there's no rhyme or reason as to where I've placed anything. It is just pretty random and anywhere that will kind of grip it essentially. I haven't used any glue in this scape and I haven't tied it on. So it's just wherever it will naturally grip on, essentially. And this is another Anubias. Just wanted to bring some more bright green because Boost, Kedagang and Tia is very dark, and obviously the wood's going to go dark under the water as well, so it will be quite a lot of dark in the middle. So I just wanted to bring something lighter to it. And then in the back, this is just a crypt out of one of my big tanks. I can't remember what it's called. It'll either be Becketii or Petchi. And then we've got some Staragini repens as well for the foreground. And then that will be pretty much it for planting. This is going to be a no filter scape, so the plants in it might not be quite fast growing enough to deal with any kind of nutrient build-up. The soil is kind of recycled, so it will have lost most of the ammonia, but there is some fresh soil in there. So I'm going to use some floating plants for the time being. I'm going to use some Amazon frog bit, but if I feel like that's not doing the job, I probably will add something like Limnophila sessiflora in the background. It's a great plant for just sucking up excess nutrients. And it probably will make quite a nice backdrop, as crypt is pretty slow growing and you're probably not going to see them too much at the minute. But we'll fill it and see what it looks like. So it's now been about 3 days since I filled it, and there's been a lot of water changes, and that is because the Wio Eco Eldorado sand is extremely dusty. So I would recommend to anybody, if you were to use it, to definitely wash it, because it has been causing the water to become really cloudy. And just to note that I did add some Siamensis 53B to the background, just because upon reflection, as it being a no filter aquarium, I just felt we definitely needed something faster growing. So that has been added to the back, and I also put some trimmings of Ludwigia palustris in there as well, just to give it a pop of colour. So yeah, that's how it's looking so far. I think we'll pop back in a month's time to see how it's all grown in. It probably looks a bit odd at the moment because there's not much going on in the background, so other than the booth it probably does look quite bare. But I'll definitely be interested to see how this grows in, and yeah, if you're interested too, please pop back to the channel in a few weeks time, when we'll get an update on it. Thanks for watching, see you on the next one, take care.